Hey there, it's Walt. As a distance runner, we have various loops that we run. We have a short loop, we have a more modest loop, and we have our usual Sunday loop, and then we have some pretty long ultra loops that we do. And then as runners, we have something that's called an out and back, where you run out along a particular route and then turn around and come back again. And those out and backs are kind of fun because that turning point brings so much hope to it. You're halfway through, you get to turn back to home and to breakfast and to a warm shower. And so it's fun to look forward to that turning point. We're approaching a turning point this week, the turning point of the year, December 21st, the Solstice turning point. And it's a day that I celebrate with such great joy. As those of you who have followed me know, I tend to grapple with, which is code for struggle with, seasonal affective disorder. The light can so challenge me at this time of year. And as you can see, the light is low here in on the 53rd parallel. The trees are bare. And on the turning point, that moment when the earth stops, and in the northern hemisphere, it starts to tilt back toward the sun, and we journey back toward more abundant daylight, longer days, more and more light. And it's such a moment of joy for me to celebrate that turning point, that moment when we turn back toward the sun. It's also such a great time of year for all of us to reflect on the turning point. It's a powerful time. You know, it's a time where we have, as human beings, we've celebrated this return to the light, this turning point. And it's a wonderful time for each of us to take some time and think about what we want to turn back toward. You know, are we going to turn back toward relationships, recommitting to a relationship? Are we going to turn back to the creation of new relationships? Are we going to turn back to our health and wellness? Will we recommit to practices that will upscale our wellness practice? Will we recommit to our financial lives? Will we turn back toward creating work and a life that we love? Is it a business that needs to be reinvigorated? Is a career that needs to be changed? Do we need to recommit to our physical lives, to our personal care? What is it that we want to turn back toward in this time of year as we look toward the renewal of the spring that promises in the distance? It's such an important time. You know, it's a time of year that can get crazy. We can enter into it as a crazy holiday vortex, and some of that is joyful. And we can carve out some time to use it as a time to reflect and to recollect, as a time to create and to recreate. It's such an important time for me that I actually take an entire day. I'll actually take the solstice day as a day of reflection, of a day of planning, as a day of thinking about what I will turn back toward as the earth shifts, as we move back toward the light. And so, even in the midst of the holiday craziness, I invite you to take some time for yourself to think about this turning point, to think about the power of the turning point in the world, in the seasons, and to think about the power of that turning point in your own life. What will you turn back toward? Make it a great rest of the day. Make it a great rest of the week. May the solstice be filled with much joy. Talk soon.